So let's focus on Kaskad and what it is. What we want to build is a high-quality lending and borrowing platform on Kaspa. So if you are used to enjoy AVE on Ethereum, for example, you will have the same features on Kaskad, but you will see we have different incentive mechanisms that we create and imagine, and it will be on the Kaspa network, so it will be with the speed of Kaspa and the security of Kaspa. The agenda of this presentation will be, first we have an announcement to do, so we will talk about it. After we will go on what is the team of Kaskad and what is our vision for the project. We will talk too about the design, the mechanism of the platform, the incentive. I will go a bit on regulation, but not a lot, I promise. And at the end, you will have an exclusive demo of the platform with the videos that we will show you at the end of this presentation. So first we have an announcement and I will let Jack talk about it.
All right, thanks Julien for the intro, and thanks the Kaspa Experience for having us on stage. So today we are happy to announce that we have decided to launch on the Igra mainnet. There are many reasons why we chose to do that, and I could list a few. Maybe I can list one, maybe I can list 10, but let's try with one. I think we felt that we were aligned by the way that Igra is approaching development in closed environment, verifying everything that is working smoothly or not, and understanding why. And we like the approach of making sure that they know what's coming ahead, they know that they will have people's funds under management somehow, so they know how precious and important it is for them to be super prepared. And we in the Kaskad team, we share the same ethos and we share the same philosophy. And this is for this reason and for many other reasons, by the way, that we decided that we were going to launch on Igra. And this is also the occasion for me to say that we are going to follow you, Elliot, on your initiative to run Igra validator, and we will be adding to your allocation, and we will also reveal a few juicy mechanisms that we have imagined and how we could stay competitive, because we like competition, and somehow being a validator on Igra is going to be a competition as well. So we are going to talk a bit about this.
Yeah. Before to dig more on the design of the platform, just a vision about the team, because I know it's important, and for us to be all doxed as is in Kaspa core team, it was important. So 4 of the 7 partners of the team are developers. We have Elliot, who everyone probably knows already, him will work on Oracle and will be the Oracle architect of Kaskad platform. Anton, Pierrick and Marius are developer. Anton is specialized in smart contracts and has a lot of experience building smart contracts in more than 10 years. And Pierrick and Marius, I know them very well because I already built a company with them. And I know Pierrick is a back-end developer, Marius is a front-end developer and designer. And I know they already work on a research program validated by the French Ministry of Research and Education. So I think we have a strong team tech to develop the platform. And after we have Jack, who operates all the platform. Me, I will try to manage and develop the company behind Kaskad. And Quentin, some people already knew Quentin because he's an industrial miner. He helps a lot Kaspa to develop the mining. And it's really good to find partnerships. So we will talk about it, but we need to have institutions who will invest as retail on the Kaskad platform to lend or borrow. And it will be very important that we will be able to negotiate well with them. So Quentin will help the team for that. Our vision, just few points. As Jack said, you can have several, like 10 or 20 points as for the decision for Igra, but we want to open Kaskad to, for sure, Kaspa community, but other community in Web2 or in traditional finance. So to onboard these new people, we need a really good design and we need to simplify the things. Because when you see how DeFi actually work, we spot some upgrades that we can do and we will show you what it is. So onboard new people. A second thing is like continue to make research. I was talking with Pavel last night, the founder of Igra, and we were talking about theory and practice. And I have a metaphor, is for example, if you want to do great at judo, this martial art, if you just read a book about judo, you will be very good to understand judo, but if you go on a tatami, probably it will be difficult if you never go on tatami, even if you read all the book of the judo. But it will be the same, if you go on the tatami only and never understand how to make the theory of judo, you will never be great. So our vision is like every part of the team needs to be a maker and try to code or build something in a real world on a real technology, as Kaskad protocol, but needs to continue to research and be curious about what will come next. So for that, we are very happy to have Elliot in the team who works with Jonathan, but it's the same for Pierrick, Marius, and Anton. We continue the research. So that is a vision. After two, we don't forget Kaspa miners. We know that, as Christian say, it was the orange tank. Like the fees are really important for the miner and for the network to survive. So we know that more we have LTV on the Kaskad platform, more it will help the miner and the network. And it's the same with the LTV. And just for the miner, we have some mechanisms too in order to reward them. Some points about our two key priorities, and I will let Jack talk about it. But the first it's just the design, and as I say, I built the company 1011.com. If someone is curious, you can go to our website with Pierrick and Marius. So we are specialized in collecting data, analysis and visualize the data, and we will build all the interface you will see on Kaskad, and we are very open to feedback, so don't hesitate to give us feedback after this presentation or on X account to help us to improve this interface. But it's enough to talk, just show what is the interface.
Yeah, thank you. So there is a lot to see here, and this is just an extract on what we are working at the moment. But just to make a connection with what Christian was saying, where he was saying that technology will always follow the path of the least friction. I'm in agreement with this, but I would go further and say that even customers will follow the path of least friction. And like Julien said, it's super important for projects and applications to present themselves in a way that is appealing not only to the crypto savvy, DeFi users that we are all, I guess, but also to the youngsters, also to the young developers, also to your grandma, for example. And we have taken this inspiration in the traditional finance, for example, in the banking system also. We have also taking a look into some of the video games that we play, because in a way we think that Kaspa and blockchain in general is a way to aggregate data, and the expertise of Julien and his colleagues is certainly to know how to express data. And we think that it's super important for people who are willing to join this adventure of lending and borrowing on a platform, on any platform for that matter, to understand that we present the user experience in a way that is appealing to them and that also shows what's actually happening and how they are behaving within this ecosystem and this application. And what the video game industry does well, for example, they present data in a way that lets you understand what are your strengths, what are your weakness, and how you can improve. So this is basically how we envision certain aspects of the platform. So we envision some way for you to understand where you are making waves, basically, and what's the next level. what you need to do to achieve more XP, more voting power, because voting will be a super important aspect of the Kaskad platform. But also, we have worked on ways to visualize for the user what are the best opportunities out there on the platform and how to see them. So there is a lot of work being done by Marius and Julien and his team to actually visualize what's important and how you can interact with the platform. And our goal is to be able to show this application to a banker and basically show them, well, would you understand this platform? Would you be willing to interact with it? And if the answer is yes, it means we are on the right track. So this is our first groundwork on the design, and this is what we would like to push on testnet when we are ready to do so. And we will have a demo actually showing how it's going to look when you interact with the platform at the end of this presentation. And now I'm going to talk a bit about how I work with Anton, with our lead developer, and how we work on incentivizing the good behaviors, because Elliot, you were talking this morning about how you can incentivize honesty. And we think in Kaskad that incentivizing long-lasting relationships with your customers and users is super important. And the best way to do that is to incentivize, to create an economy within your platform, an economy that people can agree on. And you have to also think about anti-gaming systems, because you can always assume that people are not going to play ball, that they don't want to play ball, if you allow them not to play ball, especially if there is some good rewards for doing so. So we have approached the tokenomics in a way that we want to make sure that the people who participate on-chain to the platform will be rewarded rightfully. But also, we know that it's super important for us to show that we don't control what's happening on the platform. And one way to do that is to render our smart contract immutable from day one, meaning that the platform will be for the vast majority, managed by the users, controlled by the users, and the team will only control a certain aspect of the growth of the platform. And we made that choice because we believe that to scale, especially at the beginning when you launch an app, you need to be able to be flexible, you need to be able to see some opportunities, and we will also need to manage the liquidity on DEXs, so we will reserve a certain portion of the revenue of the platform to manage it, but the rest of the platform will be totally managed and governed by the users, and we have sort of ways to do so. And the key target of the tokenomics and the incentivization will be on TVL participants, and I'm going to show you a design right after that. But we have also worked on a system that allows us to monitor what's happening on-chain on the platform and how it can react and actually benefit from, as a user, you can benefit from the growth of the platform automatically. This is something cool that blockchain can do. And finally, we have also opened the platform for a fully bounded governance, meaning that you can interact with smart contracts, you can govern how they behave, only if you are a voter, only if you are an on-chain participant. And in the next slide, I'm going to show you how we simplified this approach, because obviously the complete tokenomic ecosystem is more complex than that. But just to explain to you, we imagine the tokenomics in three main categories. The first one would be how the Kaskad platform is going to reward the TVL suppliers and borrowers, because for us, we think that we need to attract TVL providers, we need to attract users because it's good for the Kaskad ecosystem, but also for the Kaspa ecosystem. And we need people to actually use Kaspa, interact, create some transactions. So the way we imagined the tokenomics was the extra incentives that will come from the Kaskad platform will solely be emitted to suppliers and borrowers in a way that if you supply TVL on the platform, you can earn some extra rewards, but if on top of that you decide to borrow, because it's up to you, you don't have to do it, but if you are willing to play ball, well, you can have some extra incentives. So we will monitor how you try to behave on the platform, and we will reward this. And the second aspect of the tokenomics will be sharing the platform growth with the participant on chain. And this will not only cover the suppliers and borrowers who are part of the platform and they are making it grow, right? But also the Kaskad early participants that we don't want to forget. So we have built a way that will also manifest into those participants. And this will be like derived from the form of mixture of assets. And the last part of this tokenomics is how people who actually vote on the platform are going to decide how the revenue is used and distributed to the active participants. And it's even more complex than that. It also means that the voters can also decide how the suppliers and borrowers can be adjusted in their incentivization. And we believe that we have to incentivize the participation on the Kaskad platform, because if you don't incentivize people in doing certain things, they will just go to your competitors and just mind their own business. So we know how important it is to attract TVL and show good APIs, and this is the work we've been doing recently. And next, Julien, I think you're going to talk about regulatory compliance, if you want to.
Yeah, just a quick talk about it, because it's super important for us, for example, to be dogs that you know the team, but to have a good regulation at the start of the platform, because if you begin to invest in the platform, you would like to be sure that we will not have problem with regulatory, and we know in crypto in the past that we saw it can be problematic. So we already have some partners. Currently we're working with strong partners they are very specialized on lawyer things and making sure that what we are doing is on the track of the regulator. It means you will have documentation, tokenomic compliance, term of use, and company incorporation that it's legal for Kaskad, and we can explain in a detail how it works with the crypto company emission and the labs for the technology. And we work too already with partner who has argumentation for MiCA regulation, that is a regulation in Europe. So we know that we will be already compliant with the MiCA rules in Europe. So it's good news, because when you start lending and borrowing, you need to think about that at the launch of the platform, but you need to think at the license that to lend and borrow money, you need to be sure that the MiCA regulation will be okay about what we are doing. So this part is not I'm sure it's very important, but it's not what we want to focus now. I think we have, before the demo and the video, Jack will talk a bit about other partnership.
Yeah, just a few more words on the scope of our partnership with Igra, and we will reveal and detail more and more as they pass. But the way we envision our partnership with Igra will be via three main points. And the first one would be mutual tech support, because we know that our platform can provide a lot of data for Igra, and we also know that we will need a bit of help in doing so. So we will find some ways to collaborate together, because we like thinking in terms of synergies instead of thinking in terms of opposition. And one thing that we would like to add today is that part of the revenue generated by the Kaskad platform will also serve an additional compound of the Igra validator that we are running with Elliot. So we will also think about ways included in our tokenomic on how we can strengthen the decentralization of the Igra nodes, validator nodes. And also there will be a lot of co-marketing with Igra because we want to share everything that's happening, and we will be happy to do so. And I think that's it, and this is time for showing you the demo, the video demo of the interface.
Yeah, Patrick, is when you want, you can start the video. Oh, okay, so it's already.
So this shows the wallet connection. and then we are gonna drive you through a simple supply and borrow sequence. And the idea is always to show you what are your actions, what are your current boosts, what are your possibilities, and we made it super clear and as simple as we could to let you know, understand intuitively how to behave. And on top of the video, you can see that we are also included some supply and borrow uptime, because uptime will play a super important role in how you can yield extra reward on the platform, because we will also monitor how long you stay, and this will also be part of the anti-gaming mechanism that we are implementing on the platform. And as for borrow, we will allow, of course, the Igra token to be borrowed against, and we will also show the best APIs on the moment. What are the best opportunities to seize, actually. So the next step for us is to build this on testnet and get everyone to participate and gather data and understand what we can improve, what's not working. But we are taking our time, and we will reveal exactly when we are ready to do so in partnership with Igra, so we are sure everything is working fine.
Yeah, and thank you everyone. And just be careful. The official link for official communication of Kaskad is this account on X. And the website is kaskad.app, so because we know there is some scam sometimes, so just follow this account if you want more news. Thank you everyone.
If you have any questions, feel free. Yes?
So, thank you for working on such a great product, and I really like your mindset and your spirit, like how you do it. I find this whole DeFi loan thing really, really powerful, and used it myself with Nexo, but they were obviously a centralized provider, so I'm really interested in the DeFi version of it, although there is always this kind of lack of trust to work with a significant amount of money in there, and I'm wondering how can you and how can we, because we all want this, manage to bridge the gap, right, and make it trustless. Ultimately, I don't know how to. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I understand the question, but I think having a beautiful design is not enough. Having a docs team is not enough. Actually, you need to show proof of integrity in your code. So we will obviously open source our repos when we feel it's time to do so, and we will never launch the product without letting people actually dig into the code. But the beauty of building a decentralized platform is that you don't have to trust us anymore. At some point, you just follow the code, because the code is going to execute your actions. So as compared to Nexo, which is a super great platform, I can see you that. Well, it's centralized, so you never know how much reliable the team behind can be or will be in the future. Whereas if you have a platform that is immutable from the get-go, and you can't change the code, and the team cannot change the code, which will exactly be our case. We won't have our hands on the code that people interact with. They will be able to adjust certain bounds of the expression of the smart contract, but this will also be embedded in the code, so they won't be able to mess with the code, but they will be able to decide which way the platform they feel they should go, but we will never be able to do that. But we need to prove it, and this is, I guess, this is the answer you are looking for.
Totally, yeah. But it's has many layers.
Yeah, multi-trust layer. Let's go.
So the fiat
Switch
on-ramp,
place.
like on-ramp and off-ramp, you briefly mentioned it in the beginning, I think, that it's an important part, the on-ramp stuff. Like, can you briefly talk about that?
Well, on-ramp is just the other side of the story, right? We want to be able to attract as many people as we can from the DeFi world, but we want to also convince banks and traditional finance to actually hop into the application. So there are ways for us to do that. You can embed an iframe and select an on-ramp solution. You can work with some trusted parties, but it's also a story about trust, right? Or we can also work on our own way to on-ramp fiat payments and work with them.
I think for me actually it's more about off-ramp, right? Because if you take a loan, you want to spend, that's what I love about Nexo, that you have the card then for credit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so off-ramp is yet another story, but this will be part also of the development of the Kaskad platform, but we are not ready to share our solution yet.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.